All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video we got big news for Jaron Ennis. A fight that we have been talking about being made looks like it is going to happen with Keith one-time Thurman. Let me give you all the information related to that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. We are in the 147-pound division, and we are talking about Jaron Boots Ennis, one of the hottest young contenders in the sport of boxing, one of the guys that many people think is the future of the sport of boxing in that 147 to, according to Boots Ennis, all the way up to 168-pound weight classes. Looks like we are going to get a good one out of him very, very soon, no matter what the scenario that takes place. Now, before I get into that, though, let me do a couple things. One, give you a caveat, because I just came from the dentist and I cannot feel my jaw. So if you see me pause for a second, it's going to be because, hey, I just came from the dentist, and it is what it is, man. You know what it is. The show goes on. Did not want to miss talking about this because I'm so excited about it. Now, before I get into the meat of it, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're longtime subscribers and supporters, thank you so much for your support in the live streams that we do and in the videos that we do. Thank you so much, especially when you guys help the channel go with the super chats and the live streams and the super thanks, which is now available in the video. You can super thank the video if you like it. Donate. Support the channel. If not, just listen to the video and hit the like button. And if you're new, hit the subscribe and hit the bell icon. So we've done all of that. Jaron Ennis, according to BOZY Ennis, who is his trainer and father, said that he spoke with Stephen Espinoza of Showtime Sports and that he will be able to fight Keith Thurman for one of the vacant belts if Errol, Spence Jr. or Terence Crawford vacate them when they go up to 154 pounds. And according to both of those camps, that is what is going to happen. So Errol Spence Jr. hopefully will be fighting Terence Crawford soon. Hopefully we'll be getting an announcement about that or some progress on that soon. You know, we do videos on the page a lot about what's going on with that. You know, and there's potential money issues, location issues, what have you type of issues. But as long as both fighters really want to fight, there's a good chance that the fight can take place. So, you know, I'm out here hopeful that that is going to take place. But when we find out about that, that's going to be the last fight in the division for either one of the fighters. Errol Spence Jr. said that after he said he has 2 more fights in 147. Then he said that before the Yordenis Ugas fight. So he had Yordenis Ugas and now the undisputed fight with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford also said that he has 1 fight left in that weight class, that he's going to fight Errol Spence Jr. And then after he gets done with Errol Spence Jr., then he's going to move up and get Jermell Charlo at 154 pounds. That those are the 2 people that he's targeting. So in either one of those scenarios, that Errol wins or Terence Crawford wins, that means those belts are going to be coming. Those belts are going to come up. And you know what belt more than likely it is going to be. More than likely, they will fight for the vacant WBC belt. And this is why I'm saying it will be the vacant WBC belt, because Keith Thurman is a former WBC champion. He also got moved into the number 3 position by the WBC after he won his fight over Mario Barrios. So, and you know that is that's a big money fight. Probably the biggest money fight that's left out there at 147 pounds after those guys go is going to be for the WBC belt. The WBO belt more than likely is going to be fought for by Josh Taylor. The WBA belt, you have Staniansis who has that belt. And the IBF, not sure what would happen with the IBF, but it could. But Keith Thurman, I do not believe is ranked that highly in the IBF. There's a chance that it could be for the IBF, but more than likely the WBC is going to want Keith Thurman either back as a champion, or they're going to want Jaron Ennis to have his opportunity, to become a champion for those guys, because he has just so much potential and, so much potential in the sport of boxing. But this is good news, because now we're not going to have to wait much longer, in order to see whether or not Jaron Ennis really is has the goods or not. Because Keith Thurman is somebody that is a legitimate challenger to him. And it would actually be a very big step up. He would be going into a fight where it's his first title defense, a title shot against a guy like Keith Thurman, who has had multiple title fights. It's just an excellent situation for Jaron Ennis. It would be something that could absolutely catapult that dude right off the bat to being, one of the big names in boxing, if he's able to beat Keith Thurman. Now, I'm a huge fan of Jaron Ennis. However, I'm not going to completely count out Keith Thurman in that fight. Keith one-time Thurman is very, very experienced. He can box from the outside. He can slug a little bit. Obviously people are going to say, because I can hear it in the comment sections, what's going to go on is that Jaron Ennis is going to chop him down to the body with that jab up top, that jab to the body. But I just have to believe that Keith Thurman, at this stage of his career, with that type of experience that he has, is not going to go down easy. And it's also a very, very big step up for Jaron Ennis. And there's nobody that Jaron Ennis that has fought that is at that level. So it very well may be a little bit of an adjustment for him. Also, he'll be fighting under the big lights for a belt. That might be a little bit of an adjustment for him there as well. So I would not count out Keith Thurman. I think that is an excellent test, or an excellent, the perfect guy really for Jaron Ennis to fight to try to get a belt. It wouldn't be somebody like a Stanionis, somebody else who's really green, really doesn't have any quality wins, on his resume, right? Where people would just be like, yeah, he beat Stanionis, but who cares about that? Only one person has actually beaten Keith Thurman, and that is Manny Pacquiao. And it is what it is, man. That he's still only Keith one time has only lost one time. So Jaron Ennis should get full credit for that. I'm super excited for it. Now, Showtime, if they do that, that's telling you that that's what they intended to do when they signed Jaron Ennis to that multi-fight deal, which is the only person that I know that Showtime is actually signed to a multi-fight deal since Floyd Mayweather Jr. Everybody else is with the PBCs on a fight-by-fight basis. So clearly, Steven Espinoza, really does personally believe in Jaron Ennis, and is going to get that dude to be able to, to get into that spot. Now, if he is able to beat Keith Thurman, then, the next step, obviously, is what Jaron Ennis also said, which is a road to undisputed. The fight with Stanionis, if Stanionis is able to get his hands on the vacant WBA belt. And who knows, man, they may keep one of those belts vacant and just let him go back-to-back vacant titles. I would love to see that. But then you've also got guys like Virgil Ortiz, who's going to be in the mix for the WB, who's going to be in the mix for one of those belts as well. I'm not sure whether or not, Jaron Ennis would be able to get undisputed in that scenario because of what goes on with Oscar De La Hoya and those guys. It doesn't seem like they're really all that serious about making fights. But anyway, it is what it is, man. I'm excited for it. Hopefully this takes place. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.